We have just entered the summer break for this season. We're going to have a 4-week break to try and fill with some F1 content and entertainment. So I'm going to try and predict the 2024 season with some predictions. So just to make this clear, Alfa Romeo will be changing the name to Sauber next season, but I'm going to refer to them as Alfa Romeo, and AlphaTauri are going to change their name to something that we don't know for next season. So I'm just going to call them AlphaTauri. I'm just going to do this so it's clear and simple. We need to begin with the lineup of the teams, specifically the drivers, and I'm going to start with Red Bull, who I believe will have Max Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo at the wheel after Perez struggling this season. Mercedes, Ferrari, Aston Martin, Alpine and McLaren I believe will stay the same. Over at Alfa Romeo, I believe Théo Pourchaire will start for Alfa Romeo alongside either Alfa driver. Even though Bottas has a contract, he hasn't put in the best performances this season. Haas will replace Magnussen with what I will predict F2 champion Oliver Behrman. Now over at AlphaTauri, Tsunoda will stay where he is, but because Ricciardo will be hired by Red Bull again, there will be an empty seat, which will be filled by Liam Lawson. Now the main question is, where is Perez? Well, due to Sargent showing some protest but not enough to really keep his seat, unless he can really improve in the second half of the season, I see Perez line up alongside Albon, who will really help Williams develop into the future. Okay, so we now need to run through the championships from last to first. Begin with the Constructors' Championship. I believe AlphaTauri will finish last due to their poor season so far, with Alfa Romeo just ahead as they seem to fall further back with every race that passes. Then we have Haas, which looks stable where they are, but Williams will be 7th after their continued growth, but will be way behind Alpine, who will stay where they are for next season. Then we move on to the top 5. Ferrari seems to be collapsing again and will be in 5th, whilst McLaren edge them out to 4th. Aston Martin will continue their growth with them being a comfortable distance from Mercedes, who will come runners up to Red Bull with the driver combo of Ricciardo and Verstappen putting in a great season. On the driver's side, it will go Liam Lawson, Yuki Tsunoda, whichever Alfa Romeo driver stays, Behrman, Pourchaire, Perez, Hulkenberg, Albon, Ocon, Gasly, Stroll, Sainz, Piastri, Leclerc, Norris, Russell, Alonso and Ricciardo. Then we have a flashback to 2021 with Hamilton and Verstappen to battle for the title, with Verstappen just coming in second, just about losing to Hamilton. Now for the big predictions. I believe that we'll have a monumental title battle between Hamilton and Verstappen, with it being extremely close to the point where single digits will be the gap between the two throughout the season, with both drivers swapping positions constantly throughout the season. But the battle between Red Bull and Mercedes will also be close, with Red Bull just clinching the title due to Ricciardo having a great season and Russell not putting in his best season so far. There will be massive inter-team rivalries, with Alpine coming to blows multiple times, and this leads at the end of the season one driver leaving. Williams will have a close battle between their drivers, and Ferrari will once again fight both their drivers in an attempt to fuck up their seasons. But the biggest battles between teams will be Mercedes and Red Bull for the entire season, but there will be a big gap behind them to Aston Martin, who will be in a 3-team battle between themselves, McLaren and Ferrari. Alpine will carve be in a world of their own and in no real battle, but Williams and Haas will be close, and AlphaTauri will be really far back, and I believe this will be the final straw and the team will be sold before becoming Andretti in 2026. However, the season will have plenty of changes, with Hamilton, Verstappen, Ricciardo and Alonso winning races. This will also come with a lot of firsts too, as Norris and Stroll win their first races of their career and Hulkenberg and Piastri getting their first podiums. I predict the breakout star of the season will be Piastri, but all the rookies will put in good performances but won't be able to challenge for regular points with their cars. The worst performance of the season will be Stroll, while Sainz and Russell will have bad seasons but will massively bounce back. The drivers who have the best performances who are not in the top 5 teams will be Albon, Hulkenberg and Perez, who will have a brilliant comeback season after 2023 and will begin a new age for Williams. Then we have the best race of the season. Brazil and Silverstone will be highlights, with Spain and Baku being chaotic, and the most boring races will likely be Miami and Monaco, and this leads the Monaco Grand Prix from being axed from the calendar once its contract runs out, leading to Kyle Army being the first race in Africa in over 30 years. Belgium will be dropped at the end of the season due to the dangers presented, and another race in the US will be rumoured to take place, which will be in New York, which will eventually come true in 2026. Silverstone and Monza will sign another contract with F1, leading to more controversy about Spa being dropped. Now we need to move on to the less fun things. F1 Twitter will continue to be a battlefield, but it will also move on to threads. Drive to Survive will be continued and it will get worse, and F1 will become extremely expensive. Ferrari will continue to screw up, and the budget cap will not be followed by 4 teams in the 2023 season, leading to even more controversy. The reason for the 2023 budget cap being breached by 4 teams is that the 2022 breaches, or alleged breaches, won't be punished harshly, leading teams to spending more than they are actually allowed. Anyway, that's my predictions for 2024, and I'm writing this script on the 22nd of July 2023, so nearly all of this is speculation. If anything changes in between this video's publication, I didn't know about it. Anyway, if you've enjoyed, like and subscribe, and I'll see you later.